It's good to see you again, and I've got 4 MLB picks for you for Friday, July 18th. Also, stick around until the end of this video because I will give you the opportunity to sign up for the Lobster bets for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you have not been following me in the last few months, the Lobster bet is the best daily wager across all sports. We have been destroying bookies with this Lobster bet feature, so stay until the end for this great investment opportunity for you. Are you ready for my MLB picks for Friday? Let's go!
This is the future.
Are you ready to crush your bookies?
Evolution.
MLB pick number 1 for Friday, July 18 is the Chicago Cubs to win straight up against Boston. This is a 3-star play, which means I believe the ROI is around plus 3%. All right, let's review my argument supporting this play. Well, so the Cubs will be hosting the Red Sox, who are flying high following 10 straight victories. What a great accomplishment. So now the Red Sox are back as contenders in the AL East division, as they are only 3 games behind the leaders, the Toronto Blue Jays. However, Chicago has been rock solid at Wrigley Field this season, as shown by their 30-16 record, whereas Boston has been a lot weaker on the road, as shown by their 21-25 away record. Now, the Cubs certainly need to continue racking up the victories because they hold a 1-game lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, one of the reasons why I like Chicago in this spot is the fact that they fit under a lucrative betting system called the stingy pitchers. Let me review its rules with you. All right, so fade the road team. So in other words, we are betting against the road team if they won their last 2 games by allowing 0 or 1 run in each of those wins, and if their money line today is smaller than plus 150. So for example, the road team's money line could be plus 135, or they could be favorites. All right, so let me share my screen. So in the current case, the road team is Boston. So they are coming off 2 straight wins where they allowed 1 and 0 run respectively. And today their money line is much smaller than plus 150. So by following the rules, we must fade them. That's it. So we must fade the road team, and that's why I am opting for the Cubs to win this game. Now on the mound, we have Lucas Giolito starting for Boston. His career ERA is 4.36, and this year it has been 1 full point below his career ERA, which means it is 3.36. So he's having a good season, although his whip stat, which is 1.25, suggests he is a decent starter this year because the league average is around 1.30. Now his counterpart will be Colin Rea, whose career ERA is 4.46, whereas this season his ERA is the best of his career, 3.91. He's been a journeyman, having played for the Padres, the Marlins, the Brewers, and now he is in his 2nd stint with the Chicago Cubs. So basically we have the better club, they are at home, and we have reasonable odds, so that's why I'm taking the Cubs here. I am aware of the fact that Giolito owns a sparkling 0.70 ERA across his past 5 outings, but his counterpart has also done a great job recently because Colin Rhea's last 3 trips on the mound has seen his ERA being 1.93. So for all these reasons, I am siding with the Chicago Cubs moneyline as my first selection for Friday, July 18. Now my second pick concerns the next game on the menu, which involves the Chicago White Sox playing it in Pittsburgh against the Pirates, and this time I am selecting the Pirates moneyline. Now this is just a 2-star play. I'm not overly excited by this bet. Maybe it owns a ROI of around plus 1.5 or 2%. So it's still good enough to bet, but I'm just taking a small stab at it. All right, so so this is hardly a contest to be excited about because the Pirates are in last place in the NL Central Division, and they have also lost 8 of their past 9 games overall. Meanwhile, the White Sox are also dead last in their own division, and they are a whopping 27 games behind the leaders, the Detroit Tigers. Now, surprisingly, the Pirates own a positive record at PNC Park this season. In fact, they have accumulated 26 wins versus 21 losses in that stadium. And meanwhile, the Red Sox have been dreadful on the road as shown by their 11-36 road record. What? That is awful. Now I'm taking the Pirates also because they fit under a betting system that has done wonders in recent years. It's called the snapped losing streak number 1. Now let's review its rules. No, that's the stingy pitchers. So here comes the snapped losing streak number 1 betting strategy. It recommends betting any team that meets the following 3 criteria. Number 1, they won their last game after losing at least 6 in a row. Number 2, they must be facing a different rival compared to their last game. Right here it says than yesterday, but I meant than compared to their last game. So they must be facing a new opponent. And their money line today must be smaller than plus 175 because this betting strategy has proven not to work when supporting big underdogs. All right, so if you focus on the Pirates, well, prior to the All-Star break, the Pirates secured a victory against the Twins after experiencing a humiliating 8-game losing slide. So that fits criterion number 1. And now they are facing a different opponent. In their last match, they faced Minnesota. Now they are facing the White Sox. And finally, Pittsburgh's money line is much, much smaller than plus 175. In fact, they are favored to win. So by following those rules, we must bet the Pirates to get the W today. I think we also have the pitching edge, especially if you focus on the famous whip statistic. Jonathan Cannon's whip stat is 1.44 compared to 1.20 for Bailey Falter. So I trust Falter a lot more. The Pirates are at home. They fit under the snap losing streak number 1 strategy. So I'm taking Pittsburgh in this contest. And as I said earlier, I'm not overly confident. And the main reason is who feels comfortable betting the Pirates at minus 160 odds? I don't feel that comfortable, but I'm still going to take a small stab at it. All right, my third pick is the one that I like the most out of the 3 that I'm going to share with you today. It's rated 4 stars out of 5, but I have to admit it was close from being viewed as a premium pick, which means it would have been graded 5 stars out of 5. I'm taking the KC Royals in Miami as small favorites. In fact, the current typical odds are minus 120. I have seen some bookmakers with minus 115 odds or 1.87, but that is the best that I've seen earlier today. All right, so Kansas City must be very excited to be facing Sandy Alcantara. He has not been the same as he was prior to Tommy John surgery. He owns a dreadful 7.22 ERA through 18 starts this season. Now, he seemed to be back on track after experiencing a pretty good month of June, but he's been shelled in his last 3 appearances on the mound. In fact, across 17 innings, he gave up 18 runs and 24 hits. So if you do the calculations, that amounts to an ERA of 9.53. Now he is set to face Seth Lugo, who is a tough customer. He owns superb 2025 numbers. He only has a 6-5 record, but his ERA has been great, 2.67, and a superb 1.08 whip statistic. Now he's been even stronger if you look at his last 7 outings on the mound. In fact, his ERA during this stretch has been 1.54. Now I get the case to be made for the Marlins, who have been playing pretty good baseball recently, but to me the odds are quite good while we have a huge pitching edge in this contest. So I am going to support the KC Royals to win this game straight up. So let me show it to you again. I'm taking the Royals money line. All right, I have a fourth selection, and it concerns a good old-fashioned top-of-the-table divisional battle on the menu. It features Houston against Seattle, and in this match, I am opting for the Astros money line. They are underdogs in this contest. The typical odds right now are plus 115, which is the same as 2.15 if you are more familiar with decimal odds. Now, this is just a 2-star play. In this case, I also feel like we have a slight positive ROI, but it's not that great. So the Mariners held the top spot of the AL West division for a while, but they were overtaken by today's opponents, the Houston Astros. Houston owns a 5-game lead over Seattle right now, and the question is, will the Mariners tighten the race, or will the Astros break free following this 3-game series? This is a very critical series. Now, in game number 1, I expect the Astros to pull off the upset. I agree that backing Brendan Walter over Luis Castillo feels pretty scary, but I will do it anyway. Walter has provided length to his manager because he has lasted at least 5 innings in each of his 8 trips to the mound in 2025. Sure, he's had 2 poor outings out of those 8 appearances, but his season whip stat of 1.01 is stellar. And also, he has a pristine 40-2 strikeout to walk ratio. It cannot get any better than this. I mean, 40 punch-outs versus just 2 walks. That is spectacular. And meanwhile, Luis Castillo's whip statistic has gone up in each of his last 3 seasons. So it went from 1.08 in 2022 to 1.10, then to 1.17, and now to 1.24 this season. So he has been regressing in each of his last 4 years. I think so for all these reasons, I think we have a shot on this road underdog. The Astros have been playing better baseball lately, and the pitching advantage is not as big as many people think. So I'm going to side with the Astros to win this game outright tonight in Seattle. All right, so now it's time to talk about the famous Lobster bets. Now let me update you on how we have done by sharing my screen. So I'm not sure if you've been following this channel for a while or not. So I started offering this brand new service on April 23rd. So again, we're talking about what I believe is the best bet of the day. So I provide 1 bet per day, the one that I like the most, the one with the most confidence. And as you can see, we start, well, in fact, you need to focus on this column right here, the column I, and I am entering the number 1 if we won the bet, or 0 if it lost, or 0.5 if it was a push. As you can see, we started off with 8 straight wins. Then we had a more difficult stretch. Then we got back to our winning ways. Right here, I think we won. Is this where we won 10 in a row or 11? Yeah, we won 11 straight right here. Then we had a short losing skid and so on. You can see we had many more wins here. Now we've had our first longer difficult stretch recently, starting in June 22nd. We had quite a few losses, some pushes. Now we seem to have turned the corner. We have won 4 of the last 5 lobster bets. You can see what those plays have been right here. So yesterday it was a tennis bet, Adam Walton moneyline facing James Duckworth, which was a winner. So if you look at the numbers, so I'm always pretending as if we're risking $100 per play. All right, and if you would have done this since the very beginning, April 23rd, you would have accumulated a profit of $2,073.69. So that corresponds to a return on investment of plus 24.1%. And if you're wondering about our win-loss record, you can see the numbers on top. We have accumulated 57 wins, 27 losses, and 2 ties. And now I am offering a special package where you can get the daily lobster bet for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. This is where you need to sign up. I'm going to provide the link below in the comments section and also in the video's description. So you just sign up here and you are set to receive in your mailbox the best wager across all sports for today, Friday, July 18th, for tomorrow, which is Saturday, and also Sunday. All right, so this is a good investment for you. I'm hoping that you can join us. We have a lot of subscribers for the entire month of July, but occasionally I offer a weekend package where you get the lobster bet for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is your chance to register for those high confidence plays. So I'm Professor MJ, holder of a PhD in statistics from Quebec City in Canada. I thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to share more baseball picks with you next week. Have a great weekend, my friend.